Right, so here we are. I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide on how to make your perfect pasta dough. So first of all, I have weighed 225 grams of 00 flour. Now if you can't get hold of 00 flour, not to worry, a strong bread flour or even plain flour will do. 00 flour just refers to the grade in which it's ground. It's a lot finer, which means it's able to absorb the liquid a lot better, which gives you a more softer, supple dough. Okay, so that's 225 grams of flour straight onto the bench, followed by 125 to 30 grams of eggs. So for me, that means with my size eggs, I've got 2 whole eggs and 1 yolk. That gets me up to about 125 grams. So I'm going to pivot the camera down and you can see what I'm doing. So I've weighed my flour and I've popped it onto the bench. So using my fork, I'm just going to go around in a circular motion to try and make a little well in the middle of the bench. I'm sure you've all seen photographs of this, the famous pasta well, before we make the dough. Here we go, so I can just about see the bench in the well in the middle, right there. I've got a little wall of flour going around the outside. Just going to even it out a little bit. Nice little wall. And then into the middle, I'm going to pour my eggs. So just for a reminder, I've got 2 eggs and 1 yolk in there. I'm going to whisk them together first, so they're completely homogeneous colour. Right, and then I'm going to pour them straight into my well. Getting as much of the egg out as possible. Use your fingers, get right in there. Put the bowl to one side now. Next up, back with the fork. I'm going to start to, in a clockwise motion, start to draw in the flour from the edges to the egg mix. Kind of whipping as you go, keep it nicely aerated. Helps to get rid of any lumps. So draw a little bit of flour in, whisk it in. Just like so. Gradually, gradually. Any lumps, just beat them out of it. Every now and again, just give it a test, see what consistency we've got. Nice little drop in consistency. I think we can go a little bit more flour. We want a nice, thick, smooth, orangey paste. That's what we're aiming for, okay? So you get to about this stage, where it just lightly falls off the fork. Okay? Nice, thick paste. Next up, we're going to scrape down the fork using our finger and thumb to avoid any messiness. Scrape them off. Scrape your finger and thumb off. Alright, put aside the fork. Now we've got our pastry scraper, or our bench scraper, which you can buy online. They're really cheap. You can buy ones like this, which are a bit sturdier, or you can buy little plastic ones like this. Both will do the job. Failing that, you can use a large blunt knife. It'll do the same job. So I'm going to start to draw the flour in by scraping the bench. Scrape in, fold. Scrape in, fold. Scrape in, fold. Scrape in, fold. So north, south, east, west. And now scrape in again and chop. Scrape in, chop. Scrape in, chop. Keep following that north, south, east, west pattern. What we're hoping to achieve here is by cutting the mix, we're going to evenly disperse the egg. Use your hand as a guide to keep pushing it in together. Scraping your hand together, like so. Until we get a breadcrumby type mix. Alright? So just going to keep going, chop chop, chop chop, nice and fine breadcrumbs. Gradually you should start to see the dough become a bit more yellowy. If it's too pale, it indicates it's a little bit too dry, but we'll see. Now once you can't see any individual grains of flour, it all just looks like a yellowy breadcrumb mix. Now's the time we can scrape the scraper down, making sure we're getting as much of the moisture off as possible. We need every bit of moisture we can get. Now we can use our two hands to start drawing it into a small dough. Draw it in first. You need the scraper just to get the edges, clean the bench. At this point you should be able to tell whether the mix is going to be too dry or too wet. I think mine's looking alright, it's nice and soft. So going to really squeeze together. Really squeeze and rotate, squeeze and rotate, squeeze and rotate. Now I can start to knead. Okay, so to knead, I'm going to come side on. Two hands, you pick up the dough like so, and then push it away from you and roll back. So you don't want to tear it. If you tear it, that's no good. Keep it together. Push away and draw back. Push away, draw back. Then rotate it 90 degrees. Push away, draw back. Push away, draw back. 90 degrees. Push, draw back. Push, draw back. Now it will start to crumble again. That's fine. You just keep on using the dough to mop up the crumbly bits. Now eventually, if you carry on kneading, you'll start to see the mix really change colour and become a lot more yellow. No dry flakes. At this stage, if you feel like it needs just a little help with the moisture, then the best thing to do is to wet your hands, not the dough, because the dough will absorb the moisture off your hands, which should be enough. I think it needs a little drop, okay? So I'm just going to wet my hands, like so, rub them together, and there we go. It will just be enough to see it through. So kneading now for about 5 to 10 minutes until you get a nice, strong, glutinous, soft, homogeneous dough. All right. Keep rotating that dough. So after about 5 minutes of kneading, you should see this nice, soft, yellow dough. It's nice and firm. It looks like Play-Doh. It's malleable still, but it's nice and tight and strong. Now we come to the resting period. So we're going to just cover it with cling film and leave it to rest for half an hour. So, with your cling film, or wax paper, or greaseproof paper, or a slightly damp cloth, whichever one you feel works best for you. You're going to place it on and just wrap it as tightly as possible. We're going to form it into a little ball first. There we go. Nice little ball. Pop it on your cling film, stretch the cling film over and press down. Stretch the other way, press down. Just ensures there's no air left in it. If there's air in there, we're going to press it down like that, squeeze any excess air out. If there's any air in there, it will just simply start to produce moisture and sweat effectively. So we're going to leave it there to rest for half an hour and come back to it.